All right, here is part 2 of movable chord shapes. Now, there are lots and lots of chords, and the method that I'm going to show you here applies to most of them. There are a few exceptions where you don't want to go backwards, but you'll put a finger forwards when you move the shape. Don't worry about that right now. This works for most of the shapes, and it works for all the dominant 7 forms. So we did this in the last video. C7 is a C, E, G, and a B flat, and that's the 7th of the chord right there, right? If I were to sharp everything, I would get a movable shape where all 3 notes here would be covered, right? And that 7th would move up to there, like that. Okay, and we saw that we would have to change our fingering. So we went from C7 to bridging those 3 right there, like that, okay? We talked about being careful with that. Okay, so I want to take you over to this one right here. It's an A7 chord, and if you think about it, it's A, C sharp, E, G. The root is the top note up there, okay? And if we were to sharp everything, let's call it B flat instead of A sharp, but it's the same thing, A sharp, B flat. Then this would move down to there, and then these notes right here would get covered. And the way you do that, again, you have to change your fingering a little bit. So normally we just had our finger right there on the C sharp, and that would make that right there, right? So you're gonna pop that to that finger there and cover those, right? It's kind of hard to see, sorry. But instead of playing that there. The hard part of these, besides just learning to play them pretty well, is to relearn the fingerings, because you're so used to doing them a different way, right? So it's the same thing for these guys right here. Let's take this G7 chord and let's move everything down. We'll make it an A flat chord now, A flat 7, because that's a half step above. That means that your 3rd moves to there, that moves to there. They all just move down 1. And this was open, so now it's there. The fingering that you know doesn't work at all. You were like this before, and you can't do this. I mean, I guess you could pop your thumb over the top. It's a folk guitar thing, but the proper thing to do is to change your fingering, right? So it's like that. And it just takes time to learn them, okay? And I'm not even going to talk about fingerings like and give you what they are right now, because we don't want you to focus on that. We just want you to get this idea. Finally, we take the E7 chord, pop it down. If we sharp the E, it could be E sharp, but we'll just call it F7. The 5th is on top, because this is my E, this is my G sharp, that's my B, which is the 5th, and there's my D. I'm going to move these all up. So there, and there, and there. And what was open right here now goes right there, like that, okay? Now, so here's my E7, which you guys are good at. And when we go up to here, I have to change my fingering so that now my pinky's there, and you grab all 4 notes like that, okay? Next video, I will show you the 2 chords that you're going to learn these sort of movable positions for, like the full-on version, and how we practice them.